We pray. Almighty God, with your wisdom and godness, has appointed the leaders and parliament for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to be on your good and favor as your servant whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, rather that we consider all matters that shall come to liberation. In so just a faithful among us to promote your honor and glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen.
Order number 1, application of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to move the motion. Mitigating effects of fire outbreak in secondary schools within the county. Aware that firefighting and disaster management is a function of the county government according to the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Appreciating that the county government has been providing fire emergency services albeit with challenges. Further appreciating that the Ministry of Education has issued safety standard manual for schools in Kenya 2008 to prepare schools for fire incidences, to minimize loss of lives and property in the event of fire. Concerned that the recent fire outbreaks in schools, secondary schools have displayed unpreparedness and poor response, resulting to loss of property in the schools. This House urges the county government to liaise with the County Education Board to 1. Ensure establishment of fire safety infrastructure in schools, including fire alarms, extinguishers, and water sources for firefighting. 2. Recommended regular fire safety and firefighting training for school staff and students to ensure preparedness and effectiveness in case of a fire emergency. 3. Advocate for development and implementation of comprehensive fire safety protocols and evacuation plans tailored to the needs of each schools, and recommend establishment of a system for regularly evaluating and updating fire safety practices and equipment in schools to ensure ongoing effectiveness. Mr. Speaker, sir, I brought this motion because in the recent past few months we've been hearing a lot of fire incidences in school for like every part of this country. And also we are also affected as a county because our schools, Isiolo girls and the rest of the schools, I think everyone is aware of that, have been undergoing fire incidences. School fires and incidences in Kenya education institutions have been persistent and alarming over the past few months, Mr. Speaker, sir. The tragic loss of life, destruction of property and destruction of education have been underscored, and the urgent need for comprehensive strategies to mitigate this risk, Mr. Speaker, sir. So I think there are so many problems, Mr. Speaker, sir, because it's like we only run to firefight things instead of being prepared for these incidences, Mr. Speaker, sir, most of the time. And we are not even, we've not even gone to this school to see if they have really taken care of how to combat these fires in the event there's fire outbreaks. And there's underlying issues, Mr. Speaker, sir, we need to see, are these schools really equipped with firefighting equipments? Are the staff concerned, Mr. Speaker, sir, ready to combat these fires? Are they having any knowledge on how to maybe firefight in the event of this? What are these underlying issues, Mr. Speaker, sir? These are so many things, Mr. Speaker, sir, we need to underscore, so that in the event of such incidences, at least our schools are ready to firefight, to combat these fires, and also the students, the teachers, and also the non-teaching staffs in the schools, Mr. Speaker, sir, they are supposed to have at least this knowledge on how they can combat the incidences in the event that they happen, Mr. Speaker, sir. So these are the reason as to why I brought this important motion, and I think most of the members here will support this motion, so that at least in the event something like this happens, Mr. Speaker, sir, in our schools, our people are ready to combat this menace, and also they have the knowledge at least so that these fires cannot cause distractions and also loss of lives, Mr. Speaker, sir, because these are the generations we need to protect, Mr. Speaker, sir. Education is the backbone of everything. Our schools, you know, the infrastructures are not so much in good shape. You remember the other time we've been looking for people to even do some fundraiser for us. Our Deputy President was here, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the case of Isiolo girls some time back. He came here to at least assist us to boost our infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, sir. The same infrastructure, if we are going to destroy, it's not going to be good, Mr. Speaker, sir. Our county is poverty stricken, we have poor, our funds, and we don't have enough funds, Mr. Speaker, sir, to we finish this property and then we build another one. The few properties we have, we must take care of it, Mr. Speaker, sir. So I think the members of my fellow members will actually debate over this motion adequately, so that at least we'll see, this motion will see the light of the day, and also some problems is going to be mitigated, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone is going to have voices, concerns here, so that this motion will see the light of the day. Thank you.
I propose that aware that firefighting and disaster management is a function of the county government according to the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, appreciating that the county government has been providing fire emergency services a bit with the challenges. Further appreciating that the Ministry of Education has issued safety standard manual for schools in Kenya 2008 to prepare schools for fire incidents to minimize loss of lives and property in the event of fire. Concerned that the recent fire outbreaks in secondary schools have displayed unpreparedness and poor response, resulting to loss of property in the schools. This House urges the county government to liaise with the county education board to ensure establishment of fire safety infrastructure in schools, including fire alarms, extinguishers, and water source for firefighting. Recommend regular fire safety and firefighting training for school staff and the students to ensure preparedness and effectiveness in the case of a fire emergency. Advocate for development and implementation of the comprehensive fire safety protocol and evacuation plans tailored to the need of each school, and recommend establishment of a system for regularly evaluating and updating fire safety practice and equipment in schools to ensure ongoing effectiveness.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipea nafasi nichangie hii ajenda mzuri ambaye inahusika na watoto wetu ya elimu. Kama vile unajua Mheshimiwa Spika, elimu ndio kila kitu. Watu wote wale wanaona Kenya, ministers and the president wote wamepitia hiyo shule. Kwa hivyo ni mzuri walimu wakae karibu na watoto, sana sana principals ya secondary schools wakae karibu na watoto. Nafikiri kwa kila class kuna class prefect, samani tulikuwa tunawaita hivyo, lakini wale wakubwa ya classes baada ya kukaa muda kidogo waite wauliza shida yenu ni nini katika hii shule yetu, ni nini kunaendelea, watakuelezea. Pia wakikuelezea utajua njia vile utafanya ya kuzuia hiyo mambo mingi ya kusoma shule ya watoto. Pia kuna education board kwa kila county. Pia hata hiyo inafaa iwe inatembea kwa shule. Baada ya 3 months wanatembea. Wanauliza watoto tu, mnataka aje? Hii shule yenu inakaaje? Hiyo unajua ni kuleta watoto karibu na nyinyi ili wasiende kuenda kwa haribu mambo mingi. Unaita watoto private classes, unakaa nao bila walimu, unawauliza, watakuelezea shida yao ni nini. Hata kama wanaogopa kuambia mwalimu yao, nyinyi education officer watakuelezea, alafu na wewe baadaye utaenda uita walimu, mkutano ya walimu kwa hiyo shule, waelezee vile watoto wamesema. Na hiyo shida inaisha mara moja. Pia watoto sio walimu peke yake, hata parent wanafaa waelimishe watoto. Kila parent aelimishe mtoto vile anaweza kaa kwa shule. Kama vile tulikuwa tunaambiwa tafuta ile kampani mzuri ya watoto ukiwa shule, wale utatembea nao. Hata kama yuko shule, wale utatembea nao, sio kutembea na watu wale hawana njia nzuri. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni njia moja ya inaweza kuzuia kusoma mashule. Sasa ukiona kama hapa Isiolo, secondary zote zetu hapa Isiolo imechomwa. Hatujui nani amesoma, hatuwezi sema ni watoto. Inaweza kuwa hata ndu ingine aliingilia katikati asome ili aweze kuharibu hiyo elimu ya hiyo watoto. Pia unaona wakati watoto unasikia shule imechomeka, ni wakati mtihani iko karibu. Sijui ni saitani gani inaingianga kwa watoto. Labda kuna wengine wanaogopa hiyo mtihani. Sasa wanaharibia wale wengine. Lakini hiyo sinda inaweza malizwa na walimu, principals na hata walimu wakiongea na watoto, tuambieni sinda ile yote mnaona katika hii shule. Alafu hiyo tatizo itaisha. Nafikiri sina mengi, asante.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I stand to support the motion. This is not the first time that this country is going through fires in our schools. And we have not taken the serious action that is needed. Sometimes we make a very good document and proposals like the one that was done in that manual that was made by the Ministry of Education to prepare for fire. But how do we follow it? Have we done it? Because we do things and they keep on repeating themselves. Some things that we do or say, they need people to do them. Because just preparing a manual and not following it up, it is wrong. We can remember what happened in Russia, losing those 21 innocent souls through our recklessness. It was not good. We have seen incidences of fire. Even here in Isiolo, it was Isiolo girls, Isiolo boys, Wami, For Garupatura, I'm not very sure, but I also had we had the same fire incident. So, this cannot just be happening by themselves. There are people who are involved. But there is one thing that I want to say. Having lived in this country for many years, I do know those students who destroy others, they never turn to be anything good, even in life. They destroy themselves because you cannot kill a person and you live well in life. And especially going through being banned, it is a very sad state of affairs. It pains when one remembers that. So, I want also to say, how as a county, how are we prepared? Not only the fires breaking up in schools, even in our estates, how prepared as a county? Are we really prepared? Because even the way we are building our houses, we don't even leave room for our vehicles, our firefighting vehicles to pass. So what do we expect? Disaster will be taking place. So I also, this one, it encompasses so many departments. Are we doing even our planning? Are we doing it right? That we leave everything to God to do it. So God punishes carelessness. In Isiolo, we are lucky. We have Kenya Defense Forces. They have their fighting equipment. We have the Kenya Isiolo Airport Authority Airport. They have their fighting equipment with well-trained people. How have you used those entities to help us in Isiolo? I know as a corporate social responsibility as Kenya Airport, they can even be visiting our schools and teaching our people, our students, how to do firefighting. I know even the Kenya Defense Forces Support Battalion, if they are asked, I know they can assist. But what are we doing as leaders to make sure that these incidences are not repeated? We need to train. I remember when I was in school many years ago, I was a trained firefighter. I got even certification because our schools then used to take things seriously. How many times do principals do drills in school for firefighting? To make sure that students are aware and where they can assemble in case of fire. Very few. And I don't think here in Isiolo we have any school that practices that. Even we have those, I'm forgetting the name, for firefighting. Our students are even aware how to use them. They need to be taught, even teachers. We don't put them there as souvenirs for people to come to see, but to be put into use when such a thing happens. So it is my prayer as a country, and not only Isiolo, because this one, we have had fire all over. People should even be talking to our children. Because whether we deny it or not, most of the fires are started by them. So we need a lot of counseling even in schools. And we need to tell our children, it is not a must that you get an A to succeed in life. Because every time the examination nears, you find that it's when those fires starts. I'm telling our children, it is not, well, getting an A is a good thing if God has given you that talent, it is in you. But even getting a D, you can still, we have seen billionaires with Ds, not through stealing, but through hard work. I have seen people in this country who just only reached class 8, and they worked hard, and they are living better. They have employed even those people who got A's. So I'm telling our children that it is not a must that you get an A or you fear examination. What you need, there are many tests in life. And for you to succeed, it's not through only the examination or through papers. So it is my prayer, and I want people to get A's, work hard. We want professors, we want doctors, because with a D to become it is also a problem. So, but God has given you something to make you survive. So, with those very many words, Honorable Speaker, I'm very grateful, and I support the motion brought by Honorable Ram. Thank you.
Honorable Gino.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for giving me a chance, but I thought a lady first you could have given to my colleague here. But I thank you very much. And I actually congratulate Honorable Rehima, whom now I'm supporting the motion. Mr. Speaker, fire actually is enemy. And normally, the citizen of this country should have a strategy to fight the enemy. And again, you don't fight the enemy in isolation. You fight fire because with the collaboration from individual to collective responsibility. And then it means actually individual and the group or an institution must have tools to fight fire. One, there must be a knowledge on how to fight that enemy called fire. This enemy, knowledge, should be passed on from those who are highly educated about fighting the fire, and it is transmitted to the youth who will inherit from you for fighting the fire even in the future and any time. Now that is, as Mheshimiwa, my colleague Honorable Waidaka said, we have a very good policy in fighting the fire. And also, we are so much theoretical about what we are supposed to have. The firefighting equipment, after getting the knowledge on how to fight fire, is supposed to start at a household. It is started with first of all, the knowledge about types of fire, and then what do we need to fight fire as a result of electrical fire, as a result of fuel. So you must have all this equipment at so many levels. Now coming to school, and then we are supposed to practice every time on how to fight this enemy called fire. A rehearsals, practice after we gain the knowledge. Every institution must have actually in writing, and warning is given that in case of fire, one has to do ABCD. Then everybody has a responsibility to fight until we become a big group now to win against the fire. from institution to individual in my house, in the estate, all must be coordinated, Mr. Speaker. But here in Isiolo County, it is even a history that a county can say, we got a firefighting equipment, one vehicle, one truck, and that one again, Mr. Speaker, we got through a donation from Japan. Why the Kenyan money cannot buy this equipment to fight fire, which is enemy number one? So the money is not taken in the right direction, Mr. Speaker. So we must have fire fighting equipment everywhere, and we must have a drill and instructions to anybody who is operating those equipment to respond. And we must practice when there is peace, so that by the time the fire breaks out, we can defeat the fire. But here there's a very big desperation, Mr. Speaker. There is no student is being taught even how to fight a fire. Or what do they do in case of fire breaking? We as a Kenyan have responsibility to prevent fire, or to prevent the fire which is an enemy to attack us and destroy our property and kill lives. Mr. Speaker, there is a lot of this connection from my institution. Honorable Waidaka talked of those institutions that this county is supposed to have. We are supposed to have a periodical meeting on even imagine that if fire breaks out, how can Air Force fly in the helicopter in support of Isiolo boys? And within what time, Mr. Speaker? Now, the School of Artillery here, all these barracks you are seeing, that is what they can only do for us, is to fight the fire, or come maybe in aid during the flood and to help the community. But now we are not coordinating, Mr. Speaker. Where are the fire extinguishers? If you look at this vehicle, one vehicle is not enough. It should be stationed in every ward, minimum, Mr. Speaker. And then we see at what are the targets. Schools, which we know every September there must be a fire breakout in the schools. It is very unfortunate for this house, every time, Mr. Speaker, the order paper is coming at the last minute. This very important motion Honorable Rehima is bringing to the House, we are supposed to be given 24 hours ago, and then we do a research and come up in this House with a meaningful solution to answer this recommendation which Honorable Member of the Assembly brought into the floor, Mr. Speaker. Our schools don't have capacity to fight fire. So they can't even prevent fire. Mr. Speaker, after this motion, I don't know where it will go, Mr. Speaker. Please, this particular one about the land that we had in the morning should be followed closely until we are able to practically get solution, both mitigative and preventive solution to this menace, which we are sure it is going to come up. Mr. Speaker, the estate gets burned like Safi estate. It is being just looked at, Mr. Speaker. Nothing, we are all helpless. Nobody has a knowledge about how to fight this fire. Not even warning. We can't. We are supposed to communicate actually from the person who is closer to the fire to a person who is at the end of this central business district to be able to respond. And there must be an order to fight that fire. All this is not available to us, Mr. Speaker. So this is a disaster that must be addressed adequately, where our children get killed is very unfortunate. And it has been the tendency in this country that after this fire is extinguished, nobody thinks about it again. Nobody cares about the life that we have lost, Mr. Speaker. But as leaders, we have responsibility in this county, Mr. Speaker. Please, I urge the House, after this, that disaster about the land we spoke in the morning, and this particular, Mr. Speaker, should be followed up with a meaningful solution achieved very soon again, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker kunipatia hii nafasi kuchangia hii mjadala. Leo maneno tunaongea ni maneno ya moto. Na maneno ya moto si mchezo. Kiborana anasema ogopa kitu mbili. Moto na maji. Sisi tunaongea maneno ya moto. Sisi kama county tumejipanga aje kuzima hii kwanza mambo yanaitwa moto. Mimi kaburi yangu kwanza saa hii mahali nimetoka Chari kuna shule inaitwa Bulesa Day. Saa hii kuna crisis ya maji. Hakuna maji kwa hiyo ward yangu yote. Na hiyo shule ikichomeka ile kitu watu wamezoea kuzima na moto ni maji. Hatuna kitu inaitwa fire extinguisher kwa sababu hata hii town yote tuko nayo Isiolo mzima ile tuko nayo ni kidogo mnaona hii hii kata inasimama hapa. Hawezi zima hata moto. Kwa sababu sisi tulisema hata watoto wanaogopa shule ndio wanachoma shule. Hata si watoto peke yake. Hata kuna watu wengi wanachangia hii maneno. Kwa sababu watoto wako shule, mafuta wananunua kutoka wapi? Kibida wananunua kutoka wapi? Juzi wakati mwangaza gas ilichomeka, walijaribu kuchoma kuna CCTV kwa shule. Hiyo msichana alipatikana kwa CCTV, kuna mtu ametoka nje ameletea mafuta. Si watoto peke yake ndio wanaogopa ati mitiani. Hata wananchi kuna wengine wanachangia kwa sababu wataki shule. Sasa sisi kama viongozi ni jukumu letu tusaidie watu wetu. Sasa saa hizi mimi kila wakati kutoka 3 days ago principal yangu Blizzard ananitumania message. Mimi sina nguvu ya kutuma utabusa ama files zingu huko. Anasema anaogopa watoto wachome shule, watoto wakishoma shule hakuna maji hata unajua watu wetu wamezoea kuzima maji na moto hata akiwa na shota na mtungi. Sasa hata kama hiyo hawana hiyo maji watasaidia nini ya shule? Tafadhalini sisi tunaongea kila wakati kitu hakuna na hatuwezi watu wetu wasaidika. At least hii motion ameleta na Mheshimiwa ni motion mzuri sana. At least tufanyie hiyo motion ifanye kazi. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker kwa kunipatia nafasi hii kuweza kuchangia hii mjadala. Mr. Speaker, kwa kimombo inasemekana prevention is better than cure. Huwezi kuwa unaongea mambo ya kuchomeka shule na ilhali unafaa kuangalia kwanza ni nini cause hiyo shida yote nini inaleta. Unajua saa zingine watoto labda wako na shida huko kwa shule, utakuta watoto wengine wanatumia drugs, wengine wanatumia drugs, wengine pia labda hawana ile uhusiano mzuri na walimu, wako na ile nia mbaya tu uharibie watoto wote shule, watoto wote masomo. Si kila mtu ako na hiyo nia. Wengine pia wengine wanataka kusoma lakini wengine pia wanaleta ile pia pressure, wanaleta hiyo shida yote. So mi naona afadhali walimu wakuwe karibu sana na watoto na wafanyiwe counseling. Imams, unaona mapasta waende waongee na hiyo watoto, wajue shida yao. Na wale watoto ambao wafanye vizuri katika shule pia wanafaa kuangaliwa. Si ati wanaangaliwa vibaya. Kuna watu wengi sana hawajafanya vizuri na waliishi kwa hii dunia na wako sawa. Na mi hata saa hizi afadhali saa hizi ukiona CBC hii imeintroduciwa saa hii, watoto kila mtu atakuwa na classifyiwa kulingana na ile kiasi wako. Kama mtoto anajua science, unaona ataplesiwa mahali nyingine. Unaona hiyo pia ni mzuri vile serikali imefanya. Lakini walimu wanafaa kukua sana karibu na watoto ili wajue shida yao. Na hiyo mambo ya kutrain watoto in case unajua moto si kila wakati. Saa hizi mostly ni watoto ndio wanachangia na ni shida yao tu personal. Hiyo ndio inafanya si ati ni zamani si kitu ya kawaida ati kila siku shule inachomeka. So kwa hivyo wafanywe training watoto na staff zile wako huko in case kuna emergency, lakini kwa saa hizi mimi kwa maoni yangu naona
Don't bang the table.
Watoto walimu wako karibu sana na watoto. Asante.
Deka.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Speaker. I stand to support this motion. Cases of fire in Isiolo is a big concern, not only in Isiolo but Kenya at large, Mr. Speaker. Here in Isiolo is like students are competing to burn the schools. This is so unfortunate. Mheshimiwa Speaker, Isiolo town is surrounded by military camps. I wonder why the firefighter from this camp never come and assist our people in Isiolo. School need to train their scouts on firefighting, Mr. Speaker, sir. The county should come in to make a way that will enable schools fight fire whenever it breaks out. Mr. Speaker, sir, county firefighters should always be ready and they should be trained so that they can gain advanced technologies on firefighting, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Mheshimiwa Dadi.
Asante sana Speaker. Nimesimama kuunga mjadala wa mitigating the effect of the outbreak in secondary school within Isiolo County. Motion imeletwa na Mheshimiwa Rehima. Mheshimiwa Speaker, kumekuwa na mikaza ya moto mingi katika Isiolo County hivi karibuni. Tumeona shule nyingi zimechomeka. Pia mbuga za wanyama zetu moto imechoma. Sehemu zetu za malisho moto imechoma. Na Mheshimiwa Speaker, kulingana na hiyo moto imechoma area zetu, tumeona kama county hatuko tayari kukabiliana na hizo mikaza za moto. Na sababu moja ni kwamba tuko na simamoto moja ambayo ni mmoja na iko katika hali ambayo tunasema iko hali mbovu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, kama county waheshimiwa, sisi ndio wale ambao tunakaa katika bajeti. Wakati mmoja tulienda na Mheshimiwa Kiambi wakati Isiolo Girls ilichomeka, na tukaona hiyo hali haikuwa sawa, na tukaongea vile moto tunaweza kuweza kama county tunaweza kabiliana na mambo ya moto katika county yetu. Moja ni kuhakikisha tumenunua simamoto, tumeongeza katika bajeti yetu wa kuweza kununua simamoto. Hata kama hatutaweza kununua katika kila moja iwe katika wodi, lakini at least tuwe na simamoto kama 3-4. Hiyo hali kidogo na ziwe katika hali nzuri ile zinaweza kabiliana na mambo ya moto. Na nyingine katika shule zetu tunahitaji watoto waelimishwe ama walimu waelimishwe namna ya kukabiliana na hali ya moto. Hiyo ndio kitu ambayo number 1 inahitajika. Watu waweze kuelimishwa namna ya kukabiliana na moto. Nyingine tunahitaji pia, kwa sababu nyingine nafikiri inachangiwa na mambo ya stima, ile tunaita proper installation, kwa sababu saa zingine stima kama haizijafanywa katika hali mzuri, sometimes zinachangia. Kwanza wakati watoto pengine wanapiga pasi ama wanachemsha maji, hiyo inaweza lete moto kutokea. Kwa hivyo tunahitaji nayo kuwa na ile proper installation ya electrical katika shule zetu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, hivi majuzi moto iliweza kutokea hapa eneo ya hapa kwangu hapa Buratot. Hiyo moto iliweza tokea usiku ya manane na iliweza kula mpaka ikafika ndani ya lodge, I think karibu nini wazo iliweza kuzuia. Hatukuweza kusima hiyo moto, ilishinda watu. Na tumepoteza malisho ambayo ni ya wanyama yetu, ya mifugo yetu. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni hasara kubwa sana kwa kaunti yetu ya Isiolo. Tunaomba Mungu atupe neema, atupatie mvua, kwa sababu kama mvua itakuja tunaweza kuwa na kiangazi haraka sana, kwa sababu tumepoteza malisho mingi. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Speaker, mimi ningeomba waheshimiwa walio hapa, kwa sababu kazi yetu ni ya bajeti, kija supplementary budget, ningeomba, kwa sababu hii ni swala ambayo tumeona ni swala kuu, ambayo ni swala tata, na ni swala ambayo inahitaji tushughulikie. Tungetenga bajeti ya kuongeza ndio tuweze kusaidia kaunti yetu kukabiliana, tuweze kuweka bajeti ya kuweza kununua gari za zimamoto, ndio tuweze kusaidia katika hii mikaza ya moto ambayo imekuwa kaza kubwa jana, imekuwa janga kubwa sana. Mimi nilipokea simu sana ya wazazi wakilia, wale ambao walikuwa na watoto Isiolo Girls, kuta mtu alichomokea uniform, mtu ana vitabu, ana nini. So wazazi walikuwa wanalia sana. Bado kuna karo, kuna hali maisha ya sasa yetu ya hii eneo yetu. Unaona watu wanakaa katika ile ufukara. Wengi, majority wanakaa katika ile ufukara. Wengi walipoteza mifugo yao kati ya ukame. Na sasa wanajikumu, na kila mtu anataka kusomesha mtoto. Wakati vitu kama hii inatokea, kunakuwa na kilio kwa wazazi sana. Inakuwa ni mzigo mkubwa sana kwa wazazi. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Speaker, mimi nilipiga simu sana na wengi ambao walikuwa wanataka niwazunulie uniform, niwasaidie, na hali yetu nayo unajua vile hatuna ile bajeti ambayo ya kusaidia nini, ni ile mshahara ambayo tuko nayo. Kwa hivyo ndio nimesema tunahitaji sana tuwe na simamoto nyingi hapa katika kaunti ya Isiolo. Kwa hivyo waheshimiwa mlio hapa, hii ni kitu ambayo tunahitaji. Kama sijui ni idara gani husika iko ambayo inahusika na mambo ya disaster, sijui katika hii komiti yetu ni gani ambayo ni husika. Nilikuwa tunasema tungeita manager wa municipality aweze kuja mbele ya committee, tuweze kuuliza kama idara kame yake ambayo tujue amejipanga namna gani katika hii mikaza ya moto, ni mpango gani hako nayo kuelekea mbele. Kwa hivyo kama committee ambayo husika, tungeomba muandikie barua manager aweze kuja mbele yetu, tuweze kumuuliza maswali, ndio aweze kutueleza shida gani hako, changamoto gani hako nazo. Kama waheshimiwa tuweze kumsaidia, ndio tuweze kusaidia kaunti yetu kwa mikaza kwa wakati ujao ambao unakuja, sababu tuhitaji kukaa katika hali ambayo sasa tunaona ambayo tunashindwa kusima moto. Kwa hivyo nashukuru sana Mheshimiwa Speaker kwa kunipatia nafasi. Fikiri nimechangia yangu kwa hayo machache. Nashukuru.
Timalo.
Mara ya pili.
Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker. Sajid Adam, I think he's pointing at me, which is wrong. You should be out. You are just give yourself a break.
Kuna wakati second the motion.
Give yourself a break.
Wakati nilikuwa nataka kusagia ukanikataza, ukaniambia wakati yangu imeisha. Na leo nimeona umepeana tena. Kwa hivyo wewe ndio uko na makosa. Ndiye ni second.
Asante. Nafikiri tulielewa Mheshimiwa standing orders.
Order. Thank you. Yes, sit down.
kuna wakati mimi nikaamuka nikaonga mkono hoja ile ilikuwa kwa mbunge siku hiyo. Sikuongea, lakini nikaamuka nikafanya hivi, nikaketi. Wakati nilikuwa nataka kuchangia baadaye, wakaniambia wewe wakati yako ilikuwa, lakini sikushangia. Lakini leo naona
So Rehima should not talk.
hata mimi sikuongea siku hiyo.
Okay, sawa.
Yes.
Move on.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, again for giving me time to now conclude on the motion. Let me take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, sir, to thank my colleagues for supporting the motion and discussing on the motion, and a very good debate has taken place here, Mr. Speaker, sir. I think members, I'm so grateful for this because a motion which actually touches on the lives of our people and our properties, discussions like that is very important, Mr. Speaker, sir. As I conclude on the motion, Mr. Speaker, sir, sometimes back, Mr. Speaker, sir, when we were young, some responsibilities are actually for everyone, especially schools belongs to everyone. It belongs to the community, it belongs to the teachers, it belongs to everyone is a stakeholder in matters of school, Mr. Speaker, sir. I don't know, there's a missing link nowadays, Mr. Speaker, sir. As because something happens in our midst, Mr. Speaker, sir, as communities, as leaders, as everything, and it goes just like that. We are supposed to know what is the underlying issues, Mr. Speaker, sir, in matters of fires like that, Mr. Speaker, sir. Fire has been rampant here and there, Mr. Speaker, sir. Our small infrastructures, our small facilities, our small schools have been undergoing such a problem, Mr. Speaker, sir. But community keeps quiet. I think leaders keep quiet. What is really happening? Why are we not concerned, Mr. Speaker, sir? These are the lives of our children. These are our schools. We are a poor county. We've been begging for people to come and fundraise for us, Mr. Speaker, sir, the other day, as I earlier said. And when these problems come, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are blindfolded, Mr. Speaker, sir. What is really happening? As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think this fire issue, as I earlier said in the opening, is multifaceted, Mr. Speaker, sir. Before we reach to the actual now fighting the fire in school, we should actually ask ourselves, what is the underlying issues, Mr. Speaker, sir? Are our roads okay in the event the fire has broken up, Mr. Speaker, sir? Are the schools' infrastructure okay? Is there enough ventilation in schools, Mr. Speaker, sir? Are the schools' infrastructure built in such a way that enough ventilation is going through in the school, Mr. Speaker, sir, in that facility, Mr. Speaker, sir? Are the teachers present day and night in that school, Mr. Speaker, sir? And what are the characters of our students, Mr. Speaker, sir? Are we having rogue students in the school who actually may cause problems to the other innocent school kids who actually want to study, Mr. Speaker, sir? All these are issues we are supposed to check for us now to go to the real problem and maybe combat the real problem on the ground, Mr. Speaker, sir. Some time back, Mr. Speaker, sir, not even back 2 weeks ago when I came into this compound of ours, of the County Assembly of Isiolo, I saw the fire brigades here with that big machine to fight in our compound, Mr. Speaker, sir. And then I was happy because most of them are my friends. One of them was so actually exhausted. I was telling him, were you here the whole night, or what is really happening? You seem to be very much exhausted. And then he told me, I was here day and night. Is that really someone who is going to take care of that fire in the event the fire breaks? There's fire in anywhere, not even in school itself, everywhere. Is that someone having that energy to move that machine to that place where there's fire, Mr. Speaker, sir? Why can't we have people who are ready, machines ready, students ready, teachers ready? Because it belongs to everyone. It is supposed to be all our concerns, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I repeat again, there's a missing link in whatever is happening around us. We are supposed to pull up our socks, Mr. Speaker, sir. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank all the members who have assisted us. Who have contributed to this motion. And I think some motions come to this house, Mr. Speaker, sir, and then it is just put in the shelf. I think a motion like this should not be put in the shelf. Let this motion see the light of the day so that we get the benefit from this house, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
So I put a question. The way that the firefighting and the disaster management is a function of the county government according to the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Appreciating that the county government has been providing fire emergency services to deal with the challenges. Further appreciating that the Ministry of Education has issued safety standard manual for schools in Kenya, that is 28, to prepare schools for the incidents to minimize loss of lives and property in the event of fire. Concerned that recent fire outbreak is secondary schools have displayed prejudice and poor response, resulting to loss of property in the schools. This house urges the county government to liaise with the county education boards to ensure the establishment of the fire safety infrastructure in schools, including fire alarms, extinguishers, and water source for firefighting. Recommend regular fire safety and firefighting training for school staff and students to ensure preparedness and effectiveness in case of a fire emergency. Advocate for development and implementation of the comprehensive fire safety protocol and the evacuation plans tailored to the needs of each school, and recommend establishment of the system for regularly evaluating and updating fire safety practice and equipment in schools to ensure ongoing effectiveness. As men of that opinion say aye. Aye. Contrary say nay. I have it. Next order.
No, Dr. Speaker.
Okay, members, we have another business, so the house adjourned until tomorrow, that is 2:30. Thank you.